What just happened? The rugby world is in absolute shock right now. Eben Etzebeth, the man, the mountain, the legend, has said something that no one saw coming. Not his teammates. Not the coaches. Not even the most dedicated fans who have followed his career for over a decade. The internet is going crazy. Social media has exploded. Everyone is talking about one thing: what did Eben Etzebeth actually say? And why is it shaking the entire rugby community to its core? Because this is not just any player. This is the most feared lock forward on the planet. A man who lets his actions do the talking. A man who never makes headlines for the wrong reasons. So when Eben speaks, the world stops and listens. And what he said this time changed everything. Stay with us, because what you are about to hear will leave you completely speechless. To understand why this moment is so massive, you need to understand who Eben Etzebeth really is. Born in Cape Town, South Africa, Eben burst onto the international rugby scene as a young, raw, and absolutely devastating force of nature. He earned his first Springbok cap in 2012, and from that moment, he never looked back. He became the backbone of one of the greatest rugby teams the world has ever seen. He lifted the Rugby World Cup trophy not once, but twice. In 2019 in Japan. And again in 2023 in France. He has faced the biggest forwards on the planet and broken them. He has played through pain, through pressure, through impossible moments, and he always delivered. This is a man built from iron and determination. A man who carries the Springbok jersey like it is the most sacred thing in his life. So when a man like this says something unexpected, you know it carries enormous weight. Now, here is the moment you have been waiting for. Here is what Eben Etzebeth actually said. In a recent interview that has now gone completely viral, Eben sat down and spoke from the heart. He did not hold back. He did not give a safe, scripted answer. He spoke with raw, unfiltered honesty. He openly talked about the pressure of being South Africa's greatest defender. He admitted that there were moments, dark moments, where he questioned everything. Where the weight of expectation felt unbearable. Where he was not sure if he could carry on. He said, and these are words that shocked everyone, that rugby almost broke him. That behind the warrior face the world sees, there was a man who was struggling. A man who needed help. A man who had to fight battles far harder than anything on a rugby field. No one expected this level of vulnerability from Eben Etzebeth. And that is exactly why the world cannot stop talking about it. The reaction to Eben's words has been absolutely overwhelming. Within hours of the interview being released, it was everywhere. Rugby legends, former Springbok captains, international players from rival nations, all of them were responding. Some were emotional. Some were inspired. Some admitted they had gone through similar struggles but never found the courage to speak up. Fans from South Africa, New Zealand, England, France, Argentina all united in one response: respect. Deep, powerful respect. Because Eben Etzebeth just did something that warriors rarely do. He showed the world that true strength is not about hiding your pain. True strength is about facing it. Owning it. Speaking about it out loud even when it terrifies you. Former Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus himself praised Eben's honesty and called it one of the bravest moments he had ever witnessed from a player. The rugby world stood up and applauded. But this goes far beyond rugby. What Eben Etzebeth has done is start a conversation that sport desperately needed. For too long, athletes have been expected to be machines. To feel nothing. To show nothing. To simply perform and suffer in silence. Mental health in professional sport has been a hidden crisis for years. Players at the highest level facing burnout, anxiety, depression with no safe space to speak. And then comes Eben. 6'8". 120 kilograms. Two-time World Cup winner. The most physically dominant lock forward of his generation. And he says, I struggled. I needed support. And that is okay. That moment, that single, honest moment, is more powerful than any tackle he has ever made on a rugby field. It gives permission to every young athlete watching to be human. To ask for help. To know that vulnerability is not weakness. It is the greatest form of courage that exists. So what does this all mean for Eben Etzebeth going forward? One thing is absolutely certain, he leaves this moment bigger than he has ever been. Not just as a rugby player, but as a human being. As a leader. As a voice that matters. The Springboks have always been more than a team, they have been a symbol of unity, resilience, and heart. And Eben has just added a new chapter to that legacy. A chapter that no trophy, no record, and no statistic could ever write. He has reminded us all that the greatest victories in life are not won on a field. They are won inside, in the quiet battles that nobody else sees. So if you are watching this today, take inspiration from Eben Etzebeth. Face your battles. Speak your truth. And never be afraid to ask for help. Because if the strongest man in rugby can do it, so can you. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video because this is a story that everyone needs to hear.